Hello and welcome. I'm Lauren G, the producer of the Discover Local podcast, made possible with funding from William Morris Big Local. In this series, we discover the stories behind Walthamstow's independent businesses and the incredible people who run them. Join us as we explore their journeys, challenges, and the impact they've had on our community.
So I'm Mr. Patel from Waterman's Pharmacy. We're at 248 Forest Road on the corner of Palmerston Road and Forest Road. So we're a retail pharmacy, so we offer lots of services together with retail environment, but our mainstay is probably prescriptions and vaccination services and a lot of other pharmacy-related services that have just been brought out.
What role do you think pharmacies play in the local ecosystem?
So pharmacies are very important for the community to fit in with their medical and health requirements. We need to identify where our local populations need services and align ourselves with that. And hopefully that would come to better outcomes for our patients and clients. We've been here about 42 years, so we've seen obviously a lot of changes during that time. Our service has changed from prescription and retail pharmacy items to more service-based things now, with the advent of things like sexual health services, smoking services, weight management services, lots of different things where we can interact with our patients. The latest one, which you've probably all heard about, is Pharmacy First, which, we're dealing with a lot of clients that have been referred by GPs so that they can take the pressure off of them for things like earache, UTI, shingles, various things, insect bites. There's lots of little things. And I think there's further development down that line as well.
Having been here for so long, how would you describe your business's rapport with the local community?
I think we're very intertwined with our business, with our local community, because we've known our patients for a long, long time. We have very close working relationships with our surgeries, so we're able to communicate where patients are having a difficulty or where there is urgent requirements for them. And I think we have like what we call the hub and spoke methodology, where we are probably a part of that mechanism and, get fast-track service for our patients and identify patients with need. Walthamstow was my first pharmacy. So this is the first pharmacy we first started in 1982. Okay, so we've been here ever since. Obviously, we had other units, but we've downgraded from those and just this is our main concentration now at Walthamstow.
Is there anything that makes Walthamstow unique to you? And, it's the flagship store, right? What was it about this place that made it so important?
Okay, so I think I found it very interesting working with our local population's needs, substantial needs in Waltham Forest, and we identified those with the help of the LPCs and, the close working relationships and the rapport I've built in with the doctor's surgeries and our clients, and I've known them for many, many years, a lot of them, 40 years plus, so, we have that rapport with them and can work well with them.
What about your neighboring businesses? Do you have any local businesses you would recommend or that you frequent?
So we do frequent all the food stores and stuff here. We do know the local community enterprises as well, because we've been talking to them over the years. So we discuss the problems that we may be having in Waltham Forest and how to deal with them, because obviously sometimes it's a shared experience, a shared problem, and maybe there's a shared solution as well. So things like parking sometimes can be an issue. How do we get around them? How do we support? They may identify a patient who may need help and I don't know about it. And, obviously we can reach out to these guys and support the community in that respect,
Can you tell me about the day that you first opened the business? What do you remember about that day?
Okay, so that's quite some time ago in 1982, but I remember it clearly because I was very lucky to get a loan from I think in those days it was called Midland Bank, a lovely gentleman who actually offered me the money to actually set up on this entrepreneurial route. And so the fittings are all there. We started decking out the shelvings with all the stock, and obviously initially very apprehensive because the unit was much smaller, so it was only about that much. And then obviously over the years we've expanded. But so it was very exciting as well. So meeting all the new people in those days, tried to make links with the local surgeries and stuff, and basically tried to develop the business from there. Obviously, COVID was a very difficult time, and the way we managed that was very, very, difficult with patients and stuff as well, and how to sort of prevent infection spreading within our staff. And the way we got around that was to put up a self-service door near the front door, and we managed it that way. And obviously, we had some funny sessions where things were quite comical sometimes when you were because we had feedback from the customers. I can remember one client and there was a queue of people, and he was asked to sign the prescription, and we gave him the pen, and he's putting it in his mouth and chewing away, and then he's trying to hand it back, and everybody behind him are laughing, and we're saying, no, you need to get rid of that now. So, that's one of the stories, but there's so many, I mean, difficult to recall them all now.
Do you have any advice for somebody trying to get into the pharmacy business today?
So pharmacy is a very sought after business. Obviously, the big problems is the funding that pharmacy receives from government. At the moment, there are about 10 pharmacies closing down every week, which is a substantial number. There's gross underfunding, and unfortunately, it's quite difficult to maintain the level of services. I feel that all pharmacies should have at least 2 practicing pharmacists at any one time. So if we're going to be doing services and prescriptions, we don't want to be stretched too much. I don't want to be throwing all the balls in the air and see how many we can catch. It has to be more structured. So the remuneration has to be properly thought about, and it needs to be adequate for us to actually provide those services. At the moment, I don't think we're getting there, but hopefully maybe even local authorities can support development of the new services. So, I don't know what else that they can do, but I'm sure there are lots of other examples where we can do that. But the funding has to be right, because otherwise it is stressful for my clients and also my employees, because we need to look after them too. We have an important role there.
If you could tell the Mr. Patel who was opening the pharmacy anything, what would you tell him?
So it's a very challenging thing, but also very exciting. Lots of new roles you can develop. If you have the passion for it, I think it's a fantastic business. But be ready to change, because change is happening all the time within pharmacy. A lot of automation is happening, which we will have to take it on board at some stage, and maybe concentrate on more service-based industries. I think that's the way it's going to be going. So if you're willing to do that, then that's I think quite a good place to be.
No, it's so lovely. Thank you so much for kind of sharing all your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean,
because I know it's changed so much over the years.
Yeah, I mean, it's changed from there was quite a bit of industrial base around here, lots of manufacturing things which have all gone now. So we have housing in place of that, and obviously, I worry about employment for the local community, because there was skills here which we needed to hold on to. I don't know what's happened to those skills, but hopefully the powers that be do know about these things, and we need to retain the skills that we have, not lose them.
Thank you for tuning in to the Discover Local podcast, brought to you by William Morris Big Local. We hope you've enjoyed getting to know the inspiring entrepreneurs in our community. To learn more and support these businesses, visit us at www.wmbiglocal.org. Keep discovering local and stay connected. Recording, editing and sound design by Nello, with music by Josette Joseph.